everybody gets confused between marine biologists and marine archaeologists because they sound the same, and there's not many marine archaeologists in the country, but there's lots of marine biologists. So a marine biologist will look at fish and water quality and the plant life that you might find underwater. A marine archaeologist looks at shipwrecks and evidence of where humans used to be. So it might be that you'd be on an 8,000-year-old site somewhere. Like there's one off the Isle of Wight called Boulder Cliff, which is very, very old, where people used to live and work.
You first went diving?
I was 17 years old, which was 19 years ago. So I've been diving longer than I haven't now, and that made me feel really old. I like any diving, so I'm happy anywhere, but one of my favourite wrecks is a shipwreck in Cornwall called the St Chamond, and it's in about 30 metres of water, and it was a ship, and on the ship they had 5 steam engines, so it had 5 trains on it, and it sunk, and then the trains fell off the side. So when you go and dive it now, it's just sort of 5 steam engines that you can swim around and sit inside and have a look at, and it's one of my favourites because it's so strange to see a steam engine on the bottom of the sea, because it shouldn't be there. Yes, but not where they should be. I was working in Devon and we saw a penguin swimming through the harbour underwater, and nobody believed it was a penguin at all until later on we had a look, and the local zoo had lost some penguins and they'd escaped. So we haven't seen one in the wild, but we shouldn't have. My favourite sea creature? So I've worked in quite a lot of places, so some like hot places where you have big sharks and big rays, and I've seen loads of these, and they're really, really interesting. But what's more interesting is you get these little tiny creatures called nudibranch, and they're tiny, so they can be like this small. You have to look really hard to see them, but they're all like beautiful colours, and they have like bits sticking off of them, and they're amazing little things. So yeah, nudibranch is my favourite things to see. The scariest thing that ever happened to me, and it's the only time that I've squealed or screamed underwater, and it was only very quickly. I was diving on a shipwreck, and me and a friend of mine were looking at it, and so I sat on the bottom and he went off to find it. It was a really, really dark wreck, and so he went off to find it, and I sat there and I had my torches on, so I'm like, I'll save my torch batteries, so I turned them off. And as soon as I turned my torch off, it went dark, and at the same time a piece of seaweed hit me in the face. I had no idea what it was. I went, ah! And turned my torch back on, and there's seaweed stuck on my face. But no one hurt, so it was okay. Sharks. Definitely, we used to swim with a lot of sharks out in Thailand. They'd be huge. And they're quite scary. But their sharks are okay. Sharks don't hurt you if you leave them alone. The one coldest dive I ever remember was we were working up in a place called the Sound of Mull up in Scotland, and we were working there in December, and it was ice everywhere, it was snow everywhere, and the water was freezing cold, but the water was warmer than being on the boat. So you got out of the water and you got colder because you were wet hands and everything else. Yeah, that was really, really cold. What do I look for when we go diving? Because we're archaeologists, we're always looking for things that man might have used, so humans might have used. So that could be shipwrecks, it could be like evidence of like 8,000-year-old people. So yeah, we're normally looking for shipwrecks, but what we're normally looking for is evidence. So what was on the boat, who was on the boat, how did the boat sink, those sorts of things. but we've dived in, because that's what we do, we dive in lots of shipwrecks, so we see them a lot, and we've dived in shipwrecks that still look like big ships, submarines which look like submarines, and then really old wooden ones that have just collapsed, and so you just have bits sticking out here and there. We've done a lot of work on a ship called the Roosevik, which is a Dutch trading ship that sunk nearly 300 years ago. So we dug that up and we found lots of things. So we found like personal possessions of the crew, we found some of the silver, we found building materials they were taken out to the colonies and things like that. So we found lots of the structure of it as well. So because not everyone can dive, we wanted to show them what shipwrecks are like underwater. We've made these like interactive virtual dive trails. So this is what we see. So this shipwreck, it doesn't look like a shipwreck, it's just bits and pieces all over the place. It's really dark. This is the one that the seaweed got me. So we've made these so you can sort of like spin around and have a look, and sort of divers in and everything. This is like a pump wheel. This is a bit of the shipwreck here, and lobster pots. So we went diving, worked out what was there, made models of it, and then had it all put onto the computer. So we do, so you can like watch little videos, and there's sound on that one. I haven't actually got any sound. So that's something else we do. So the deepest, I don't know which is the deepest ocean, but the deepest I've dived is 62.5 metres. Or so my computer said, about that. So so just over 60 metres.
Wow, that was very interesting, and thank you so much for your time today.
No problem, thank you very much for talking to me.
I hope you have all enjoyed this video as which I have been making it. Goodbye.
A bit of water in it. So all we're getting to do at the moment, just put your mouth around that. I'll do it on this yellow one. So in your mouth. Just breathe in and out through your mouth. It's nice and slow, so just have a go on that. So you want to put your fins down on the floor. All the way in your mouth. Is that okay? Can you feel it coming? There you go. Brilliant. Smile! Don't smile, you'll get water in your eye. There you go, pop it down there. So that's what we're breathing. This little bit here, this is called a BCD. So it's like a life jacket, if you're on a boat or something like that. It's connected up to this cylinder. If you press this grey button, watch the jacket. See it inflate? Yeah. So when we're on the surface of the water, that's inflated, you can bob on the surface and you don't sink. Okay. To get underwater, that top button, you get see all the air come out of it. So when we want to go under the water, we press the top button, and we want to come onto the surface. Now here, turn this round a little bit. So if I press that, if you just listen in a second, when it gets filled, you'll hear a funny hissing noise. Can you hear that? Yeah? Don't worry about that, that just means it's full. So if you hear that noise, you can stop pressing that. Okay. Do you want to have a go just pressing that? Press the grey one in. That's it, so you hear that, you stop, and then press the top one. So you've got the grey button to put air into it, and the top one to take air out of it. Simple as that. You don't need to worry about this yellow one. This is what me and you were diving together. My kit had a roller, and I would use that, and you would use that, and we can breathe off this together. But we don't use it tonight because we're just having a swim around in a bit of a play. Write that one down. When we get to the side of the swimming pool, we'll get in the water. We'll put the fins on and the mask on, and then we'll put these on in the water so it's a bit lighter, a bit easier. It don't matter which foot, so you can put them on any foot. Yeah, if you put one on the wrong feet, doesn't matter, you're not going to go around in circles. You have to be anyone. Now, when that goes on, just make sure your nose is going like that. The horrible thing we need to do with a mask is we need to spit in it. It's the only time you can spit. Okay? So the reason we spit in it, rub it in, rinse it out, and that stops it fogging up. If you look, see it fogging up a little bit? Yeah, it's just the heat in there. So we spit in it, and that works like magic and stops it fogging up with water. All good? Now I know you like talking a lot. When we're underwater, obviously we can't talk because we've got regulator in your mouth, so we use hand signals. Do you know any hand signals? I bet if I do a couple, you'll know what they are. If someone did that to you, what do you think it means? Someone go, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it means okay. Mate knows that. Yeah. So if I go like that to you, and say to you, are you okay? And if you're okay, what do you think you're going to do back? So do that back to me. That's it, nice and good. So if I go, okay, you're okay, so what do you do? That means let's go up. Yeah. So if we go like that, it means we go onto the surface and we can have a chat. Go like that, what do you think that one means then? Go down, spot on. So they're the three basic ones. So, okay, let's go up, let's go down. All the ones that we might do today, just that, just means stop. If we're swimming around, we do that, just stop. It's quite a shallow water where we'll be swimming around. So at any point if we stop, we'll just sink to the bottom and sit on it. If you're not feeling anything or you're not happy about something, do some kind of secret wave or wave around, do something to get their attention. Yeah? When I see you, just point to something. If your ears are hurting, point to your ears. If your fin's falling off, do that. If rocks getting too close to you, point to more. Anything that you're happy about, just go like this, and then point to whatever it's at. Okay? That's good? Keep going like that, copy that. Yeah? When we're diving, there's really only two rules that we use. The main one is we want to make sure our ears are okay. Been in an aeroplane and your ears pop. Have you ever had that happen to you? In an aeroplane? Sometimes when we're underwater, the pressure of the water can just affect your ears. What you need to do, when you've got your mask on, pinch your nose, and just blow against your nose. So if you just do it now, pinch your nose and blow. Can you feel your ears pop a little bit? Feel a bit of pressure on your ears? Can you feel that? No, you can't feel it? Alright. But that's what we do. So when we go underwater, just pinch your nose and blow. Yeah, and any pressure in your ears, it should help. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. Simple. And then all we're going to do is just have a swim around, a bit of a play. You're going to be doing videos and whatever.
Yeah, I'll swim around, you'll see me in like
so if you ever see Mark looking at you, give me a good wave, stuff like that. You guys will be on the surface. Yeah, you might be able to see them if you look up sort of from the water. You might be able to see a bit of a shade. We'll keep popping up and waving and splashing them and stuff like that to get them away. So I think we're not far off already. So what we want you to do is keep them, don't let them go. You'll carry your kit through, and in about a minute or two we're going into the swimming pool. So the first thing we do when we get into the swimming pool, get your mask in there, spit in it, rub it in, rinse it out. Any questions?
All right.
Just inflate your jackets a little bit.
Wicked.
Theo,